The recording is started.
It has started.
Oh
Welcome
my
back
God,
to
you're still shuffling. What's the matter with you?
welcome back to the next leading brand of tarot channels. I'm David.
And I'm Derry, and this is Dot Derry. Oh yes, yeah.
Yes, we give you secret cards at the beginning. Here's a card for one of our viewers. It's a secret.
Oh, I
I'd
was
show
going to
it
show
to
the
you.
same card.
Oh no!
You know, if there's a spill on the floor, we can. It takes twice as many of the bargain brand Twin Taros to clean it up as it does the leading brand.
Exactly, because they are single ply where we are twin ply.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
extra absorbent tarot here.
We're very dry.
Hey, so we'd like to throw some cards on what's going on with the tariffs.
Tariffs, like Omar Tarif.
Omar Tarif, or I stopped the tariffs, but I did not shoot the deputy. So there's 12 states that have filed suit asking the courts to declare Trump's tariffs as illegal and blocking government agencies from enforcing them. And those states, in no particular order, are Oregon, Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Illinois, Maine, Minnesota, Nevada, New Mexico, New York, and Vermont. And California should be in there too, actually, because Gavin Newsom filed suit a long time ago. But basically what they're saying is that only Congress has the power to impose the tariffs, and that Trump's been using this International Emergency Economic Powers Act to enact all these tariffs. But, you know, their argument is that it should be for unusual and extraordinary threats from abroad. So, you know, like if you've got an island that is primarily inhabited by penguins, you probably can't impose the International Emergency Economic Powers Act on them because it's not like this existential threat, you know, or putting this flat 10% tariff on everybody. It's pretty hard to justify that this is an unusual and extraordinary threat that deserves this type of retaliation.
Oh yeah, sure. Say that when you're not a minnow or a sardine. Fine. But
Yes.
for all the bait fish out there.
So they're suing to stop the tariffs. I mean, I always thought the tariffs were the power of the Congress. And some of the things, I think it was in Arizona, the quote out of Arizona was like, you know, it's just, you know, Trump's just doing this shit on a whim. You know, I'm obviously paraphrasing, but, you know, it's just like, there's no, like.
We all know, we know you were, because no politician used the word whim.
Yeah, it's all strategic, right? It's just, you know, whatever way the wind's blowing is how the tariff blows with Trump. You know,
China's got. G would say, "Man, you don't want to be downstream, downwind from him."
You know, China's got like a 5 million% tariff, and everyone else is having their tariffs, you know, lowered, frozen, huge cutouts. Like, oh yes, well, if it's chips for an iPhone, for an Apple iPhone, then there's no tariff, right? It just, you know, if you've got 3 legs and it's a Wednesday, then your tariff's going to be this. But if you got 8 legs and it's a Friday, then your tariff is going to be something different, you know.
Translation: if you came in with a briefcase full of cash and a desire not to have your iPhone chips be tariffed, all of a sudden your iPhone chips are no longer tariffed.
Yeah, it depends. It probably relates directly to how much your corporate sponsored the Easter egg roll on Monday, the day after Easter.
Exactly.
Well, you were saying Trump had this great quote. He was giving Easter thanks to the Democrats.
Yeah, he had a couple of those fake Christian ones, and then he went on a rant to the leftist, fascist, Marxist, Leninist Democrats and
anti-American Democrats.
Yeah, he does it every year.
Yeah, it's just the classic.
It plays well to the right.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just ridiculous. So let's take a look at this. How the courts are receiving these lawsuits, and then see what direction it's going for entertainment purposes only.
Probably going one direction. You could be Zane.
Oh, all right, here we go. All right, so we've got these lawsuits to stop the tariffs.
Stop the tariffs.
Yes, right. How's this? What do we need to know? What are the courts thinking? What do we need to know about it? All right. Foundation is the Seven of Pentacles. The courts will look at the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
They'll also look at the money. Mm-hmm. There's a couple things going on, obviously, but they've got to look at the legitimacy of the argument, and then and then at some point, someone's got to put some boundaries around the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. So they got to sort of take a look at stuff.
Wasn't the argument in a box, but then it had to move out of the box because it gained weight?
Yes, exactly.
Monty Python reference. It's obscure. Good luck if you get that one.
Was that on the records, or was that on the show too?
No, it probably was on the show too.
Okay.
It was a John Cleese, Graham Chapman written sketch. They always tended to do the really quick verbal word sketches.
Yes.
Jones and Palin tend to go for more the visual gags.
Yeah, the visual silly. The challenge is the Knight of Cups. That false friend that, oh well, maybe we can sort of make a settlement, or we can find a middle ground here.
I believe it's the ambiguity is what it was.
Yeah, the ambiguity is in the box.
Yes.
Is the ambiguity, as I forgot who noted, it's still in the box. No, there's no room. The ambiguity is put on the weight. Okay, let's see. The underneath energy is the Four of Pentacles. This is Trump just wanting to have his way, have control over everything. I want everything going my way. No big surprise there. In the past, you got the Eight of Cups. This is the destruction of relationships with our trading partners and our allies. It's needless and wanton destruction. That's part of this whole thing. It's like there's no reason to be doing this. Certainly not this way. The current energy is the King of Swords. The states pointing out to the courts that, these actions are not supported by the Constitution. Only Congress has the ability to impose tariffs. And even though the executive branch can execute on the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, it doesn't apply in this situation. Overarching is the Fool. It's just Trump testing the borders, seeing what he can get away with. So we're on this new path where the courts have to figure out what are the borders, what are the parameters, what are we gonna, what can we let Trump get away with, or what should we be taking away from Trump? The lesson to be learned is the Nine of Pentacles. The prosperity of the nation and the world really kind of depends on this. If you have lots of tariffs, a lot of people are going to suffer. This is going to hurt people if you allow Trump to just unilaterally issue tariffs without, and especially because he has no strategic plan.
No, that's the problem.
Yeah, and the outcome is the world. It's something that impacts the world. This is certainly a United States judicial system decision, but it's got worldwide impacts. The key card on that is really that underneath energy, that Four of Pentacles. I mean, this is just Trump being Trump, wanting everything his way. He's just a spoiled 10-year-old.
He's backed off on his tariff rhetoric, but I'm wondering if that's there was noises being made in Congress about Congress taking back control of who gets to put tariffs out on there. I want to read, will Congress actually, before the courts decide, will Congress actually take back their power and authority to levy tariffs and remove that that privilege that's currently under Donald Trump? Six of Cups, going back to the good old days, crossed with the Ace of Wands. Yeah, I think it was naive to give the president that power, and he's crusading on it. Now this could mean that they want it back, but it's like they have to take action to get the sword back, to take control of the situation here. Past Four of Cups, they punted. They'd given it to the president because they didn't want to deal with it. Let the president deal with it, probably for election purposes. Current situation, the Two of Wands, they're rethinking their actions because they're seeing the world alight. Overarching energy is the Five of Wands. Trump, given the tariff beatdown stick, causes pandemonium in the world. And now Congress has a decision to make, and the Hermit card, they can retreat or they can move forward. I think they're going to move forward with it. They have to get control of the narrative again. They cannot let this man just unilaterally destroy the world. Remember, the whole reason why many of them are in Congress is to saddle up to the food trough and gorge themselves, and it's hard to do that when the finances are all over the place. You want things nice and calm and normal and predictable, and then the money flows in steadily. You don't need to hit home runs. Singles and doubles works nicely.
Yeah. No, you need to hit home runs, big splashy home runs. That's the only way you could possibly ever win.
Yeah, well, the oligarchs will have something to say about that.
Well, that's really the thing is, if you have no customers because they can't afford your product.
Exactly. It's kind of one of the things that was brought up from various sources. If you tariff something so much that it becomes unaffordable, people don't buy it. And then the argument is from the single-minded, the single brain cell folks. Well, that means that since they're not buying it, they have to bring it back to the United States to avoid the tariffs. Yeah, dumbass, no. That's not what that means.
Yeah.
It means that if they're not buying it, you're getting no income coming into the government that's supposed to replace these tax breaks for the wealthy.
Yes.
Which means that the government doesn't have revenue, which means they cut more of your social programs because they're not going to reinstitute taxes on wealthy people. They're going to punish poor people. And then the jobs aren't going to, the manufacturing is not going to come back.
Yeah.
Because it's still cheaper to build it overseas than it is in the United States.
Well, and considering, a tariff can be removed very quickly, but investing in a factory.
Business plans can take a decade. They take years, if not decades, to implement. And
just all the environmental hoops, all of the
you are always hung up on the environmental hoops.
Well, it was funny. I saw a clip.
It's almost like you did a job once where people had to deal with environmental things and hoops.
Well,
like
sort of. Well, it's funny. I saw something about Ross Perot. Someone had a clip of Ross Perot.
I'm all ears.
And he's going on. This is back in 1991?
Yeah.
For the 92 presidential race. He's going, the problem is that if you send the jobs out, they're going to go to these countries where they have no environmental protections, and they're going to pollute like crazy. They pay the people 1/10 what they make here, and all these jobs are going to go out there, and they're never going to come back. And it's just like he put like 5 or 6 points out there, and my God, every single thing he said, he nailed. Absolutely nailed it.
It was all predictable. If you have an iota of business sense and understanding of economics and such, it was predictable.
Yep.
I remember when Ross Perot was running, they said if he was elected, he'd be a dictator, but probably would be a benevolent dictator. Trump is not the benevolent
No,
dictator.
not at all.
He's
Ross,
a dick and a tater, but
yeah,
no
Perot
benevolence.
could totally. He saw the writing on the wall. He called it.
Yep.
Totally called it. Now, a lot of Trump's flip flopping is going on because he's got his like financial advisors in his inner circle are telling him to back off on certain things. So it's happening with the tariffs. It's happening with his attacks on the Fed chairman.
Mhm.
Because what happens is when he does these attacks, the stock market starts to tank.
Yep.
And they don't want the economy to go into a recession because that doesn't look good. it's the economy, stupid kind of theory.
Who's driving it? Is it me and you, somebody with a 401k, or is it a billionaire oligarch who doesn't like the financial uncertainty?
Yeah. How much money has Elon Musk lost this year, right?
A fair amount. Not enough, though.
Yeah, clearly not enough. So, so Trump's got people in his ears. So let's see the current energy. Will the courts stop the tariffs and move the control of tariffs back to Congress for entertainment purposes only? Okay, what's the current energy on it? Right now, the foundation is the hermit, doing some introspection, trying to find the path. What is the path? To me, this tells me that
wasn't that my outcome card?
It might have been.
I'm glad you were paying attention.
I was not paying attention. You know what I was doing? I was pulling up the Monty Python sketch with Mr. Neville Shunt. Okay, so foundation is the hermit card. What's the main clarifier? The 9 of Wands. So trying to find the path. There's just all these battles that are being fought in the courts, in the states, in the world, on the world stage. 3 of Cups, trying to celebrate our victories. 6 of Swords, trying to make this problem go away. And underneath it is the King of Cups, trying to basically master our emotions of this. Oh God, what the hell am I looking at here? So what are the courts thinking about this? They're just they're finding their path forward, trying to find something that everyone can agree on. Yeah, I wonder if this 6 of Swords is basically trying to guide the tariff control back over to Congress, trying to get it away from the crazy man and putting it back into someone a little more stable. I think that's what I'm getting out of this. My feeling is that the courts will ultimately give the power back to Congress. They will also they'll be forced to define more of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act as by default. They'll have to put a fence around that. But that's kind of what I'm getting.
I'm thinking that the courts rule against Trump, and then there's the inevitable appeal to the Supreme Court.
Sure. Yeah, little doubt.
The Supreme Court should rule on the Constitution, and the Constitution pretty clearly states that the purse strings belong in Congress, and Congress should do its job.
Yep. Amen.
But hey, those penguins, they present an imminent threat.
There's a bunch of sardines out there that are very, very unhappy with how things are going.
And probably what the real victory there is that the ruling would probably go something like the president can do the tariffs, doing that act, but you have to come up with specific examples to enact the emergency powers, and the tariffs should address those actions that are triggering the emergency powers. And a 10% blanket tariff doesn't exactly do that. That's not very specific. That's where people lose.
Yeah, And what Trump's doing is every time he has his press secretary going out there, he's like using the language of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act in like, oh, well, this clearly an unprecedented attack on the U.S. economy, and that's why these tariffs are enacted. He's just basically,
taking the verbiage from the act and just incorporating it as a statement. Yes. The lather, rinse, repeat is clearly the problem here with this shampoo. Everybody can see it.
Yeah, it's a very 10-year-old mindset.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, this is what I need.
No copying out of the encyclopedia for your paragraph on dinosaurs.
So my gut feeling is the courts are going to find their way to find that path forward, but it's like Dave said, it's going to end up in the Supreme Court, or it's going to go all the way up.
And by that point, the damage is already done.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, everyone, for watching this video. Supporting the channel. We do appreciate it.
Absolutely. If you like these videos, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. We put out a new video every night at midnight. Leave a comment. I read them all, respond to many.
And unlike other Bargain Basement Twin Tarot channels, we offer you something that they don't offer you.
Monty Python references where we can't remember the exact reference.
We definitely offer that.
Yes,
but we offer something else.
Oh yes, we give shout outs.
Oh, okay.
and
coughing in your hand, apparently.
Yes. So let's give a shout out to Gail Chandra, who
spell that, please.
Chandra.
In Spanish.
I think she said her maiden name was Jackson. Actually,
no, spell it in Spanish.
Oh. Two of Cups. Let It Rain Now would like a shout out. Hi, Let It Rain Now. Ooh, Nine of Pentacles. Very fancy.
Those mailbox money things from the Beatles.
Exactly. Cheryl Kelly said her name was never called out on Romper Room.
But she had a movie called Kelly's Heroes.
She did.
Cheryl Kelly's Heroes.
She had like two first names. She had a better chance than the rest of us getting a shout out on Romper Room. Alyssa White. Her first granddaughter was born on April 15th. Happy Grandmother Day, Alyssa White.
Oh my, I'll just show you this part of it. Oh dear.
Oh dear. I don't even, what is that?
The lover's card.
Oh, lovers. Oh my.
Oh my.
Well, if there weren't lovers, you wouldn't have a granddaughter, right?
The chicken and the egg.
Well, it's an egg at least. I hope a chicken wasn't involved. Mario Berry would like a shout out. Hi, Mario Berry.
How about Barry O'Mary?
Yes, I'm sure no one ever
drink up our Irish friends.
No, I'm sure no one ever acknowledged that your name was.
Only she's like, my name's Barry O'Mary, and what's it to you?
Let's see. Did I give a shout out to Teddy yet? Teddy said he never got called out on Romper Room. Teddy's got this great, you know how you've got the thumbnail picture and then the name? His name is a period. So I had to click on it. It's like, I can't just call period.
Is it like Teddy Salad?
Teddy Salad, exactly.
Okay.
And then
another Python reference.
The Gypsy Soul.
The Gypsy Soul. Get out
the big stick. She would like a card. Oh yeah, great card. Ace of Wands. And two more. I've got Brenda Hannah. Like a shout out.
Time.
Yes, that was the secret card from Wednesday.
That was going to pull away from the other Twin Tarot, the cheaper bargain brand Twin Tarot channels.
And then I just want to give a special. Oh,
was I too quick?
Well, that's for Kelly Scott.
Another person with two names.
Saklamana. Kelly's been very active in the comments. I just wanted to give a nod to Kelly for that.
Okay.
And that clears my list.
Does that clear your list?
That does. And The special card for the rest of us is that 5 of Wands, David's favorite.
Yep, he'll do the brawl card. Leave Gary lots of comments and demand shout outs so you can get your card too.
Yes, since you've cleared the baffles, now you can give the shout outs, I suppose.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll catch you on the next video.
Take care, folks. Bye.